Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds. Heaven Godspeed.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Many climate scientists are raising the alarm that due to climate change, many food items may someday be literally wiped off a planet Earth. Heat waves, followed by drought-like conditions due to the late arrival of monsoons, have impacted two main crops, wheat in the previous season and now rice. Food crops at risk of extinction due to global warming, Part 2 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
Yeah, go ahead and make war. Your name is already listed in hell.
Yi Gase, kind-hearted viewers. That means, how are you feeling? In More, one of the indigenous languages of Burkina Faso. My name is Duval. The reliable people of Burkina Faso are thankful to the farmers who provide healthy organic produce for us to enjoy. May our harvests always be plentiful through heaven's blessing. Welcome to our show, Food Crops at Risk of Extinction Due to Global Warming, Part 2 of 2. We have learned from many scientific reports that industrial animal people livestock operations generate the world's highest levels of greenhouse gas, or GHG emissions. For example, a 2021 study published in the online journal Nature Food reported that about 60% of GHGs come from animal people meat products. GHG emissions fuel climate change, which in turn causes extreme weather events and droughts to become more frequent and intense. These intense conditions are causing agricultural challenges for farmers, affecting food trade markets and producing food scarcity crises. Many climate scientists are raising the alarm that due to climate change, many food items may someday be literally wiped off planet Earth. In Part 1, we learned the alarming news that production of corn, wheat, cocoa, and coffee may be declining. Today, we continue with more food crops on the brink of extinction. Bananas are essential food items for millions of people around the world. The humble yellow elongated fruit, filled with vitamins, fiber, and various nutrients, is one of the most common fruits consumed in many societies. Banana leaves also serve as a traditional value item for food wrapping. Unfortunately, however, bananas are on the list of food items that are slowly declining. Bananas are widely grown in tropical and subtropical regions susceptible to drastic weather events such as intensive rainfall and severe droughts. A recent study conducted at the University of Exeter reported that bananas could slowly be wiped out by adverse climate conditions in 10 countries by 2050. Using sophisticated modeling techniques to investigate banana cultivation areas in various places, such as India, Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Panama, and the Philippines, the study found that banana yields tend to experience decline due to severe weather conditions. The work, published in the journal Nature Climate Change, found that impending temperature increases due to climate change could lead to a decline in banana yields of 0.59 to 0.19 tons per hectare by 2050. As bananas are among the world's largest agricultural export commodities, this development will significantly affect the economies of many banana-producing countries. Regarding the study's findings, Dr. Dan Beber said, "We are very concerned about the impact of diseases like Fusarium wilt on bananas, but the impacts of climate change have been largely ignored. It is imperative that we invest in preparing tropical agriculture for future climate change." Rice is one of the world's most important staple foods, feeding billions of people across the globe. Rice is also a source of income for millions of farmers. Many places in Asia, the primary location of rice agriculture, production, and supply, are being hit by harsh weather. In large rice-producing countries such as China, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and now also known as Vietnam, rice yields, production, and grain quality have dropped due to extreme heat waves, lack of rain, and other effects of climate change. Particularly in India and Pakistan, it was reported that the rise of scorching temperatures is likely to occur repeatedly due to climate change. Dr. Aditi Mukherjee commented on the probability of extreme events by saying, "Heat waves followed by drought-like conditions due to late arrival of monsoons have impacted two main crops, wheat in the previous season and now rice." In 2019, a team of scientists from Stanford University in the US conducted a study about rice agriculture. Their evaluation method combined upcoming climate conditions and arsenic-induced stresses found in soil. Their results predicted that rice yields could decline about 40% by 2100. According to Professor Scott Fendorf, by the time we get to 2100, we are estimated to have approximately 10 billion people. So that would mean we have 5 billion people dependent on rice and 2 billion who would not have access to the calories they would normally need. We have to be aware of these challenges that are coming so we can be ready to adapt.
Carnivorous animals are far more subject to blood poisoning than are vegetarian animals. Heward Carrington, vegetarian.
Magnanimous viewers, let's take a short interval now to pray that humankind will soon shift to the vegan lifestyle to preserve our planet. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our show, Food Crops at Risk of Extinction Due to Global Warming. Because of the destructive effects of human-made climate change, the yields of various agricultural crops are declining around the world, leading to reductions in global food commodities and supplies, food scarcity, and loss of income. In mid-2022, the World Economic Forum reported that many countries in the Horn of Africa region are experiencing their worst droughts in more than 40 years. The areas affected stretch from Eritrea in the north through Ethiopia and Djibouti to the southern tips of Kenya and Somalia. Climate change in East Africa has dramatically affected agricultural yields, leading to an extreme lack of basic food supplies. This dire situation has triggered the risk of famine among poorer communities. Michael Dunford stresses the severity of the situation, saying, "Harvests are ruined and hunger is growing." The situation requires immediate humanitarian action and consistent support to build the resilience of communities for the future. Also, in mid-2022, the World Food Programme, or WFP, and Food and Agriculture Organization, or FAO, revealed that over 50 million people in Eastern Africa will face acute food insecurity. Most of the groups hardest hit by food shortages and malnutrition are low-income communities or societies and small-scale farmers. In Somalia, it was reported that in September 2022, approximately 7.8 million people were severely affected by the tragic occurrence of food insecurity. The Honorable Jan Egeland, Secretary General of the Norwegian Refugee Council, visited the drought-stricken country to witness millions of people experiencing acute levels of food insecurity. He warns, Somalia's climate emergency is a hammer blow to millions, combining years of drought with unheard-of levels of human suffering and starvation. Emily Farr, a leader of Emergency Food Security and Vulnerable Livelihoods, or EFSVL, at Oxfam, visited some impoverished families in Somalia and said, "The impact from what is now 5 consecutive seasons of drought is visible. I talked to families living on rice and nothing else." His Excellency Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the UN, comments, "People and the planet are getting clobbered by climate change." He views the situation as an atlas of human suffering and a damning indictment of failed climate leadership. Nearly half of humanity is living in a danger zone. Many ecosystems are at the point of no return. We'll conclude today's show with some advice from our most cherished Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, on how to put an end to industrial animal people livestock operations and thus help to halt the emissions of GHGs that fuel climate change.
We must help provide the government with information about the true cost of the animal people diet. The government could spread campaigns about veg alternatives, bans on animal people meat, and laws to help people switch to organic vegan farming and consumption. I pray that the ones who are aware and want to save the children will do something about it and fast to stop this horrendous system that is killing us and destroying our planet, and that we must not allow any longer. There will be less hunger because we will use the agricultural products, cereals, to feed humans instead of feeding more bred animal people in the future. So we don't have hunger anymore, and there will be no more war because of hunger. So the effect is immense. Keep multiplying it, and then you know what I mean. Yeah. Because the methane gas, it has been trapped all these, centuries because of stock breeding into the lakes, into the permafrost, into the ocean, and now if it's melting, then the gas will be released also. On top of that, we have daily more animal people breathing more methane gas, then we will never stop. We just be more and more trouble, deeper and deeper into trouble. Yeah? So just stop killing animal people. Stop raising animal people anymore. And, the animal people will die out, in their own time, in the natural course.
All information concerning the scientific evidence of climate change and its solution is in Supreme Master Ching Hai's book, From Crisis to Peace, free for download at crisistopeace.org.
Vegan, 'cause can't imagine if we are tortured.
Let's combine the power of our prayers to end climate change and save our precious planet Earth. May all humans elevate their awareness to end animal people livestock production and consumption and adopt the sustainable vegan lifestyle. Coming up next is Positive Changes in Countries, Part 45 of a multi-part series, Empowering Governments, Empowering Citizens, New Zealand, Nicaragua, Niger, right after noteworthy news. May all beings be spiritually uplifted by the divine.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, hell not reach.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/PE.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/PE.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule e suprememastertv.com/PE.
Nossos programas oferecem vários idiomas. Acesse suprememastertv.com/schedule e suprememastertv.com/PE.